mental health in prison. We live in a society where mental health is extremely ignored. We have people out here who wake up and decide they're another race. People who wake up and decide that they're not a gender, but they're they, a them, a us, and etc. And these are all mental health issues that are not being approached because everybody has a problem with their feelings being heard, and they don't want to say, hey, my child may need some mental health, my child may need to see a psychiatrist and talk to somebody about these issues that they have, etc., etc. People are not willing to do this because it hurts their feelings, because it makes them feel like they're failing as a parent, or their DNA is failing. I don't know, something like that. But if your child has an issue, please get your child to see somebody. Don't just embrace it and say, oh, well, they believe they're a them. That's a disorder. Believing that you're more than one person is a mental disorder. It's schizophrenia. It's an actual disease of the mind. It's not okay. It's not normal. And this is the problem we're coming to in society. So in prison, it was a lot worse. Because people who go to prison, you can only imagine how society is. Prison is always 10 times worse than whatever society is. So people in prison who have mental health issues are ignored by staff. They're not getting proper medication. They're not seeing anybody. I know guys who are in population, literally in the jail, who talk to themselves. Guys who have conversations with God while they're sitting in their cell. Like will literally be, Jesus, please don't let me kill these people. Please don't let me come out this cell and murder everybody out here. I already got enough time, Lord. Like having conversations. These people are crazy. And they're in population. They're just walking around in population. There's people who believe that if you say something wrong to me or look at me the wrong way, that I should shank you until you die. And these people are all over in prison population. And they believe that there's nothing wrong with them because all throughout their life, their parents have had this issue where they don't want to tell their child that, hey, something's wrong with you. Maybe you need some help. Maybe you need to see somebody. That never happens. So they get to prison and there's nobody for them to see. Yeah, there's counselors in prison and there's my freaking beard's growing, so it'd be bothering my nose. This shit's annoying as fuck. So there's people in prison who need to see a psychiatrist. They need to talk to somebody, but they never get this. So what happens is they go to prison, they get more mental health issues. They get PTSD. They get more to where they have issues in their mind to where now they're more violent. And before, they never considered being violent like this an issue because nobody ever told them it was an issue. Nobody ever told them it was a problem. So now they go into society as violent individuals with mental health disorders and they reoffend on violent crimes. This is why violent offenders reoffend at such a high rate. Nobody talks to them. Nobody helps them to deal with their mental issues. And they come out into these streets where society is completely ignoring mental health issues. Completely ignoring it. When's the last time that somebody was like, hey, my son's having issues, like he needs to see a psychiatrist? Parents don't do that no more. And they haven't done it for the last 20 years or so. They don't say it. They won't say, hey, my child needs some medication. My child needs some help. My child needs, they don't do that. So these children grow into men who go to prison, already have mental disorders, already are crazy, and they go to prison and these mental health disorders get worse and worse and worse. This is why the suicide rate is becoming so high. This is why the highest suicide rate is among the LGBT community. And it's above and beyond all other communities. The reason is the LGBT community has a severe problem with ignoring mental health disorders, telling everybody it's okay to say this or okay to be this and okay to do this. And there is nothing wrong with identifying as whatever you want to be or being whatever you want to be or deciding to be whatever you want to be. But some of these things are mental health disorders. There's no such fucking thing as a they. There's no such thing as a them. These things do not exist. That is schizophrenia. That is something you need to see a fucking doctor for. You have a mental health issue. Now, if you're a man who says you should have been born a woman, or a woman who says you should have been born a man, this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. This is nothing new. They just weren't allowed to speak about it before. That's fine. If you're gay, you like men and you're a man, that's fine. You're a woman who likes women, that's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. But a lot of these other things are mental health disorders. There's no such thing as transracial. You cannot wake up and be another race. This is not a thing that exists. This is impossible. This is DNA impossible. This is biologically impossible. You can't be another race. You can't identify as another race. Race is not an identification. It's something that you're born as. And a lot of people like myself, being white passing, can actually pass within that society and actually pass within another society, because yeah, I'm Colombian and I'm Senegal, but at the same time I'm also Scottish. So I can pass within these different communities, and other people who are darker than me could never pass within these two communities. So they're stuck within this, and they can't change their race and say, hey, I'm white or I want it to be. No, because they're always going to be looked at as whatever race they are. And I've always had the ability to be able to blend within different things because I'm a mixture of races, but I can still pass for white. So it has allowed me to blend in different things in society as I've gotten older and as things have gone along, etc. So what I'm doing is I'm watching these people and I'm seeing that, hey, somebody needs to help them. But I'm also seeing that nobody is. And nobody is helping them because they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because that's the society we've come to. Now in prison, it's not about hurting people's feelings. It's about the criminal justice system not giving a fuck about people that are mentally retarded. And I say mentally retarded as they actually have a retardation of the brain. And these are people who actually need help. They need medication. They need counseling. They don't need punishment. They don't need longer jail sentences, etc. I know guys who have went to prison with mental issues and have come out 12 times worse, 12 times more violent. So now you got a guy who has a mental health issue and now he has violence. And you throw these two things together and you wonder why the rehabilitation rate is so slow for people coming home to prison. Now, me, myself, been home from prison for going on 13 years. And hopefully I go the rest of my life without going back to prison. This is why I give a lot of prison stories, tell people how bad prison is, etc. Because I want you to stay out of prison. I want you to not do the things that's going to get you into prison. Now, the prison and the criminal justice system as a whole needs to learn how to deal with mental health. But I feel like that's never going to happen until we as a society learn how to deal with mental health. This needs to stop being ignored. We need to stop acting like this is okay. For you to dress up like a fucking Care Bear and say, I identify as a Care Bear. You're a fucking human being. You have to pay taxes and rent, and you need to go to work and do whatever it is to be a coexisting member of society. You cannot do that. You're a fucking adult. And if you believe that you can do that and that's okay, you need medication. You need to talk to somebody. Something's wrong with your brain. You're not adapting to the rest of society. Now, some people, they just like weird shit. Some people like having sex with bitches dressed up as animals. Is that a mental health issue? Yeah, it probably is. But it's not affecting anybody. So who the fuck cares? Whatever gets you off, then that's the fuck. Maybe you like bitches dressing up in fucking She-Hulk makeup and that's what you're in. Whatever. Whatever the fuck gets you off, that's what you like doing. You go fucking do that. But when you have mental health issues that make you a danger to society or make you a citizen in society that's not able to adjust to actually being a productive member, then somebody needs to step in. Nobody's stepping in. Nobody's saying nothing. The prison system is full of people with mental health issues. They're not getting their medication. They're not seeing the people they need to see. They're not being put through the proper programs to help them to adapt to society. And these people are being released into society and becoming violent members of society and doing things. Look at the school shootings. They're like, oh, well, school shootings is up because of the access to guns. No, school shootings are up because of the lack of mental health care. So you have children who are fucking crazy. They have mental health issues. They need to speak to somebody. And nobody speaks to them. And everybody, oh, well, there were signs before. Why didn't you fucking do something? There were signs and you didn't do nothing about it. Now he done shot the whole school up and killed 10 kids. And you could have stepped in a year ago. Because you didn't want that stigmatism of saying, hey, my son's seeing a psychiatrist or my son's on medication. Well, your son just killed in elementary school. Because you didn't step in when you needed to step in. Your son just joined a terrorist organization. Because you didn't step in when you needed to step into. Your son just stabbed and killed somebody because you didn't step in when you needed to step in. We need to be more conscious of other people in society and the help they need and get these people the help that they need. Because it's becoming a problem. Our violence is up. We're a world becoming full of people who think violence is the first answer. And these are also mental health issues. I have mental health issues myself, and I've spoken to psychiatrists before. I actually took a year of psychology myself, and I've become able to speak about what my problems are, what's going on, etc., with the people around me. Even with social media, etc., I'm able to speak with people about my issues. I have some fucked up things that I work on too. I believe that if you shoot at me, that I can go kill you, and that's okay. This is how my mind clicks sometimes, and that's not okay. It's not okay to kill somebody in every confrontation that you have, but sometimes my brain clicks like that. And I'm saying there's a lot of people that's not. There's a lot of people that needs help in prison and out of prison, and they're not getting the help that they need.